Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Just give everybody a few minutes to join. Right, while everybody is joining, Robin and I are just going to introduce ourselves. If you can't see the shared screen, can you please pop it in the chat? But I think everybody should be able to see the opening slide of the webinar. Brilliant, thank you, Vic. So we'll just introduce ourselves while we're waiting for everybody to join. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Emma Bellingham and I'm the head of Academy here at RWFM. So I am responsible for all of our training and qualification delivery that we deliver across a number of different either organisations or to individuals. So we deliver public courses, online courses, and we also deliver bespoke solutions to organisations. The Academy is one of a number of centres that feeds into our awarding organisation. So we do also deliver the levels 2, 3 and 4 qualifications in that as well. If I hand over to you, Robin, to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Robin Clark. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager across Academy. So my primary role is working with you as prospect clients and active clients, both as a partnership and new, to help establish where you may experience gaps in your skills, in your team, or the learning journey. And then looking at how can IWFM support in that journey through the Academy. And also I sit with a foot in the camp for group membership, which is where you can get some of the benefits of what group membership will entail. And I work directly with Emma and her team. And yeah, that's my role.
Thank you, Robin. I'm just going to quickly look to see if we've got everybody now. So yeah, we've got more attendees on there. So I'm going to move forward with the webinar. So firstly, we just want to introduce RWFM for Organisations. So RWFM for Organisations provides the strategic vision to help you unlock the power of workplace and facilities management in your business. And we really focus across kind of like 3 key aims, really. So we collaborate with you to understand your business position, your objectives, and any areas of improvement that you want to maximise and help maximise your performance. We also bring together our industry insight, expertise and solutions to create a holistic programme for your business. And we tailor our support to your business needs. So it's ranging from hands-on to general advice and guidance. And in terms of RWFM for Organisations, so we work with you to help understand your organisation and combine that with our expertise of the WFM market and professional development insights to build capability within your organisation. So that's thinking about not just what's needed within your organisation, but aligning that back to the RWFM professional standards as they are the benchmark of the profession and enable us to drive the profession forward. So RWFM for Organisations is not just for individuals and it's not just for organisations. It's really a combination of both. And it's how it can benefit both individuals working within an organisation, but also help them enable, drive and change within their own organisations so that those organisations feel that value. And you'll see a wheel on one side of the slide there. And yeah, I suppose it's really clear. What we want to be really clear on is that this isn't about every organisation having to go through each section, each of the 8 sections on that wheel. This is about an organisation working with us and creating and developing a service that is bespoke to an organisation. So an organisation may want to work with us and pull on some of the insight and research that we do as an institute. We can help you define your ambition. It may be that you want to work with us from a strategy development point of view. We can look at competence assurance, competence development across a number of different areas, and also help you build that competence within your organisation and then deliver that competence and deliver the knowledge and skills to enable you to drive that competence forward within the organisation. So this isn't about everybody having to go through all of the sections within that wheel. This is about people choosing and us working with organisations to develop a bespoke programme that touches on some elements, maybe not all, and in some cases maybe all, but mostly touching on some of the elements that can be delivered across the IWFM for Organisations service. So I just want to talk to you about the why, really. So I don't think it's hidden really, or in definitely across IWFM comms and narrative, but there is a skills gap within not just the industry, but across the country that all industries are feeling. And by engaging with the IWFM for Organisations service, we are helping organisations start to bridge that skills gap. So addressing the skills gap is essential to strengthening WFM operations. It's upskilling improves performance, reduces errors, and enhances service quality, but also boosts employee engagement. So staff are more likely to stay when they see opportunities for growth. And it's about strategic alignment. So staying aligned with industry standards and innovations also keeps organisations competitive, and that market is getting more and more competitive as the economy is getting more affected. A more skilled workforce also leads to better decision making at all levels. So we're not just looking at within this programme, we're not just looking at certain areas of an organisation, we're looking at competence across all levels. The recent Market Outlook survey that was conducted by IWFM has highlighted some key areas. So some of the key themes that are coming out of that is that staff retention remains a significant challenge across the workplace and facilities management profession, with 39% of organisations reporting that retention is difficult or very difficult. And that's showing us that people aren't staying within an organisation. And one of the best ways to get people to stay within an organisation and ensure that you're not having to pay additional resource on recruitment and time on recruitment is by investing in your people. Because if people feel that are being invested in and they see a professional development programme for them, then they're more likely to stay within an organisation. The issues that are most acute in client side is local government. So 55% report serious retention difficulties. And these shortages are particularly concerning as hundreds of PFI contracts are near expiry, which is then requiring skills for professionals for smooth asset handbacks. In terms of identifying the skills gap and bridging the skills gap, what IWFM for Organisations is looking to do and does with our current customers is enhances overall productivity and efficiency across workplace and facilities management operations. So our aim is to ensure that employees are equipped to meet both current and future job demands, but also reduce and improve work quality and leading to more reliable service delivery. Another highlight that has been shown to us is that it boosts employee satisfaction and retention by supporting that career development, and it's maintaining that competitiveness by aligning and evolving with industry standards and innovation. So therefore supporting better decision making through a more capable and knowledgeable workforce. Just to highlight some of the themes that are coming out of the Market Outlook survey, which are relevant for organisations that we're working with. So recruitment difficulties are widespread across both workplace and facilities management service providers and client-side organisations. And for client-side organisations, the biggest challenge is recruiting skilled construction and maintenance staff, with 62% reporting difficulties in this area. For service providers, roles with the most recruitment issues are around commercial managers, contract managers, and workplace and facilities managers. Each reporting 47% or more with reporting difficulties. So some other key information that's coming out of the survey is that there's 48% of organisations are offering professional development opportunities. I suppose what I want to highlight here is that yes, there are organisations that are offering professional development opportunities. What comes through from the IBFM for Organisations offer is that bespoke offer. So one, aligning it to our professional standards, which as I've said, are the benchmark of the profession. But two, then feeding that back into what does the organisation need from their employees in order to succeed within the industry. So anything that is created through IBFM for Organisations is bespoke to the organisation, that aligns to strategic objectives, aligns to your KPIs, so it can really be embedded across your organisation, and that's where we find gets the most traction and informs the most change and drives the most change within an organisation. Therefore, it's got great measurements, great ways to measure performance, not just organisational performance, but individual performance as well. Firstly, I need to apologise because I know this is a very busy slide, but there's lots of information on this slide. So I'm just going to pull out some key facts around this. So this is around the skills gaps that were identified across the market outlook survey this year. So firstly, recruitment, retention and skills shortages continue to be major barriers to growth, and that's been highlighted through the survey. This year, 85% of both client-side workplace and facilities management teams and service providers reported skills gaps in at least one area. So that number is growing and is increasing. On average, organisations are facing 3.5 skill gap areas, indicating that it's a widespread issue and it's not isolated. For client-side workplace and facilities management teams, the biggest gap in skills is technical skills. So this is specifically around automation, Internet of Things and smart building technologies. So really pulling through on that technology area. And this is particularly concerning given the central role of technology and data in driving future growth. And for service providers, the top gap is in leadership and management skills, followed closely by technical proficiency. So technical proficiency is still an element within that. So there's four key themes that are emerging from this year's report. Number one, there are encouraging signs in terms of the range of factors impacting the workplace and facilities management market. So positive factors including climate change measures and social value have become more dominant in the last 12 months, while the impacts of negative ones have been eased. Business intelligence, predictive or condition-based maintenance, computer management systems, advanced analytics and building information modelling and information management, and advanced HVAC and Internet of Things are all identified as important growth drivers. So a lot of organisations are recognising that they need to engage with these topics in order to support their organisation. Recruitment difficulties that remain endemic with both client-side organisations and workplace and facility management service providers having difficulties across various skill levels. And there's a similar picture that's emerging of widespread skill gaps and staff retention issues that's imposing significant constraints throughout the sector. The percentage, and the fourth area is around prioritising key areas. So the percentage of workplace and facilities management managers that are prioritising key areas of sustainability in the coming year has fallen when compared with 2024. And these themes are all really important to the sector and are identified within professional standards as key themes to drive us forward. Just some key stats here as well. So around kind of why we need to act now on this. So there's an increase in demand to meet sustainability targets. There's this, obviously, we've talked already about the skills crisis is begging for organisations to prioritise, and there's ongoing change in the building safety regulations. There's major trends that are now affecting the workplace and facilities management sector and the professionals within it. And the expectation and how the profession is going to tackle them is being noticed. So office densities are steadily increasing, with a 20% reduction in office space every 10 years. And that increased density affects noise, distraction, personal space, cross-infection, and potential temperature and air quality. Studies are showing now that links between CO2 levels and poor employee health and productivity. And there are significant associations between selective attention and lower processing speed with exposure to pollutants indoors. So that sustainability topic is becoming more and more prominent within the workplace and firm space. And there's some key stats that are shared on the screen there as well that have come from not just this year's market outlook survey, but last year's as well. And we're starting to really build a picture of what's going on within the workplace and facilities management sector. So now I want to move away from a bit of the doom and gloom, I suppose, but to share with you what we're doing with some organisations, an example of what kind of programmes we're working on to help drive and resolve some of those issues within the Cabinet Office. So within the government property profession within the Cabinet Office. So the IWFM started working with the Cabinet Office a number of years ago, and we've developed a really strong partnership across the government property profession. The purpose of that partnership is to elevate standards and drive innovation across the government estate and across the wider workplace and facilities management sector. So it's across some key focus areas. The first is around the accreditation of professionals. The government property profession and the government estate have set some very high targets for professional membership across their departments, and that target is at 90% at the minute. So they want 90% of professionals to meet a professional membership target across government, and IWFM are a key partner in supporting the government property profession in delivering against that. So we've got a number of initiatives that we're working with and working groups that we are that we're working across a number of different departments in order to help them achieve that professional membership target, and also recognise the knowledge and experience and capability that is within the government property profession, and help individuals get to that membership, the correct membership level for them. There's also collaboration across a number of different sectors, and we are focused on talent development for a sustainable future. So we are working with the government property profession, and we've developed a fast stream programme for them. We're currently starting the delivery of cohort 5 of that fast stream. So we've delivered it over the last 5 years. And that is a level 6 programme that is focused around workplace, but also leadership and development, and supports them throughout all aspects of their fast stream programme. The second half of that focuses also on their CPD. So it's a 4-year programme. The first 2 years is the level 6 qualification, and the second 2 years is we've developed a bespoke CPD programme that supports them within their role and helps them embed the knowledge and skills that they've learned throughout the first 2 years of the programme and practically apply those within their current roles. As I've mentioned, there are key strategic goals that the profession has set by and wants to set a target of 2030 to achieve those by, and we're supporting the property fast stream to attract new civil service talent into, specifically based around workplace and facilities management. The impact of this is that it strengthens the capability across 7,500 property professionals. We're addressing it helps address the £49 billion maintenance backlog that the government property profession and the government estate and wider workplace and facilities management sector is facing within government estates, and it aligns with the RWFM programme. So everything that we're delivering for the government property profession has RWFM training standards, professional standards and delivery standards embedded in at the heart of it. And this is how we're working from an RWFM for organisations point of view. This is how we're working with all of our customers. So this is one example of how we're working with customers in order to support not just in one area, but in a number of different areas, and embed RWFM professional standards, training standards and delivery standards across the whole of the organisation. Right, I'll pass over to Robin now. So you don't have to listen to me for the whole of the webinar. And Robin's going to talk you through what RWFM for organisations can offer and the different solutions that are included within the package.
Thank you, Emma. Hello everybody, and I guess for me this section is really aimed at trying to give you an insight to picking up on some of those points that Emma talked about, like the wheel and where things fit in that journey, and sharing some of that onboarding process that we look at, because we treat every conversation from a blank canvas and then we work with you. And I often find myself asking prospect clients the same question: what keeps you awake at night? And it's really looking at the challenges that they face and how they are engaging and what can we do with them to support on that journey. So first things first, we identify and work and understand that no one approach is going to work with everybody. So each process that we go through is a bit of a bespoke approach. We then look at it from a solutions perspective. What are the learning aims? What are the gaps in the skills and the team? We also work with you from an individual perspective as to how we can elevate the learning journey and the engagement across your wider estate. It's then looking at this from a really aligning with what are your business priorities? Where are you seeing available gaps in the team, the feasibility to develop and approach? How can we upskill? How can we support? Because we have a number of products that we have available, from e-learning through to what we call open course programs that are delivered several times a year on specific subject matter. And then we look at the wider part, which is the actual, what is your journey as an individual or as a team, and where can we help you grow and mature within your role, but also as an organization. It's then looking at what are the right customized needs that we need to look at to help making a more impactful and sustainable outcome for you. So if we can move on to the next slide, Emma. So we offer, coming back to the wheel, it's a very simple process. It's let's understand from a strategic consultation and dipping into the extensive research that we have, and Emma alluded to the recent survey report, which I must say is our most extensive one that we've launched in quite a number of years. And thank you to HSBC for their support on that one, because it's been a really insightful opportunity to understand the market outlook and the journey that lies ahead. We're all well aware of some of the challenges that sit out there, the growth of AI and where does that fit in, and some of these other challenges. So when we have a discussion, it's very much it is a strategic consultation. It's about analysing and looking at leveraging what inside knowledge we have, understanding what your journey looks like, and then trying to develop with you a bespoke strategy. And when I say bespoke strategy, it could be a mixture of the various things that we've talked about today and how we blend. So it could be everything from what does membership look like for you as an individual, but maybe as a team? Does it want to be a group membership? Does it want to be something that is directly aligned to our level 2 to 6 learning program and develop specific sector background skills? Or is it actually a more strategic look at our open courses and saying, well, actually, we have a gap in our understanding, for example, Building Safety Act. What does that look like for you as an organisation, and how is it represented? So we'll try and work with you to develop that understanding. We then move into how do we understand that and use the data that we've got available from those conversations, and we create a training needs analysis. So we'll work with you to understand an in-depth competency approach to understanding what the gaps are, the skills in the team, the organisation, and actually more importantly, about future-proofing and ready skills planning for where you're planning to be in the next 3-5 years, and to support on that journey. And it's really key that sometimes these conversations can be a bit tough. There's no denying it, because our role is to support you, and sometimes getting under the skin can be a bit awkward, but it's understanding where are you on your journey as an organisation, and then being ready to try and move forward with you with the right tools. If we can move on to the next one. So it's very much about creating a bespoke approach. So each and every journey, and for me, I'm somebody who comes from a Six Sigma background. I'm a lean consultant by background. The relevance, though, of continuous improvement in this industry is critical, and it was highlighted through that recent report, and the number of organisations that have recognised that there is a need for change, there is a need to improve as an organisation. So we'll work with you from a C-suite perspective to understand what is your leadership strategy, then cascading that down as a team, and how do we engage with you as an organisation from a leadership, but right down to ground roots and the team involved that manages the workplace and facilities estate of your organisation. That might end up being one individual that comes on board, and that is the journey. But we write, as Emma highlighted with the case study that she showed from the Cabinet Office, we go through to organisations where we're dealing with hundreds of people on a journey over a period of time. But we then assess the understanding of what levels of mentoring does somebody need to go on that journey, because we operate a number of different programs that will fit into the tailoring that we will put together for you. And that's looking at really supporting from enhancing understanding, having skilled tutors on hand and mentoring. It looks at what is the training solution from maybe a blend between some e-learning workshops and some actual face-to-face workshops, which we offer to clients, by the way. It's not all about a virtual world of training. We can come to you and deliver bespoke programs, and we do that quite a lot these days. It's looking then at the flexible delivery options around the courses. And this is where it gets really interesting, because we'll work with you as an organisation, and if what the training needs analysis comes back and says, and it's clearly jumping off the page, is we need to take a tailored approach, and we maybe need to do a consultation with you that looks at something bespoke, because the gaps in the journey for you and your team is something that's not covered through one of our existing courses. It could be a blend of some of those. So we will work with you in a consultation to develop a more structured but blended approach, and then we'll work with you to effectively bespoke build something that is unique to you. Cabinet Office is a really good example of how that matured into something that is it's highly recognised. I think it's up for this year's awards nomination. So it's been very well recognised in what it develops as from an individual right the way through to the team, but through to the organisation and how it's driving a better output and results. And it's very much, as I say, it's that structured support. And it's about our focus as both an institute and a membership body in the academy is about recognising what the talent pool looks like, and about trying to retain that talent pool and taking them on that journey. Because, I often had this conversation with clients that is, how did you come into this sector? And nearly always the answer is I fell into it. People don't tend to leave school with a clear defined pathway of coming into facilities management. And if you wind the clock back to when you were at school and they're offering you career paths, did they ever mention this as a sector, as an industry? Probably not. And more importantly, as a sector and as an industry, there aren't many organizations that can operate or function without an FM team, which is the backbone to their organization. And it's highly critical. So that bespoke development from a learning, the journey, the knowledge, the skills gap is a hugely important journey. And we work with you to collaborate on bringing that together. If we could skip to them. So Emma touched on, there are a number of routes. We offer our open courses and our closed cohort courses with certificates of recognition and the journey, but we also have the full accreditation route that is under the Academy approved, which is both at a professional level, but also as a program. And again, we can work with you to look at something that might be a program you are currently delivering internally, but want to bring the IWFM kite mark to the accreditation and giving it some greater kudos internally as a recognition within the industry. And we can approve that process for you and provide that accreditation. It's always looking fundamentally, how do we drive and gain professional recognition, validating your skills and your competencies and recognizing it from an excellence perspective. So it's taking people on that journey, and that is very much at the heart of everything we do. We also, though, within our ongoing support and development, is all our courses. So whether they are a 1-day workshop through to the 3-day, or they are the wider 1 or 2 year programs that we offer, these all come with a recognition that's directly linked to your PDPs, your CPD routeway. How does it recognize you as an individual? But it empowers you as individuals to become high performing WFM teams. And it's about developing that immense commercial value back into your role and what you do within your organization. But the best part is it doesn't stop when you've trained. It stays as an ongoing relationship. It's there through your membership, and we encourage you to be members as part of that journey, because whether you are a member as an individual or as a group, it's helping you to network within a wider group of other people, peer groups. We have particulars, what they call SIPs, which are specific sector groups that work on certain areas within the membership. It could be women in leadership. It could be future talent pools. It's a mixed variety, but they look at within your membership, how do you foster that relationship and grow within your skills and your development? If we can. So it all comes back to one really key thing, and Linda, our chair and chief exec officer, really summarized it fantastically in one line. Our professional standards underpin the workplace and facilities profession. We're here to basically provide the sector and the industry and set the quality and the standards that aligns where can you be in your journey within the professional framework, recognizing those standards, providing the necessary expertise in the learning and the training that is aligned to the best possible standards. A really good example of that is one of our leading open courses that is often organizations take as a closed, is to do with the Building Safety Act. And the guys that train that course are very instrumental in writing that act and the development of that framework. So you know, it's all about having the best experts in the room training your team. We're also there to work with you on an ongoing basis to say what is and how do things adapt. You know, I don't think we've seen the full impact of AI within the FM community as yet, but it's there, it's looming, it's becoming quite clear. So it's about how do we leverage cutting edge research and the data to guide you. Emma highlighted that we've launched a number of like e-bike courses and e-learning that are very much focused on short, sharp knowledge injections, very much strategic, looking at how that works. But the wonderful thing is that when you become part of an IWFM journey, we're here from a support and compliance about legislation, what's helping things to avoid within risk and maintaining operational integrity for you and in your individual role, but as an organization. So it's very much about setting those standards and driving the quality forward. So it's a wonderful sector. I think there's another slide I'm going to cover, I think, or am I? Am I covering this one or am I back to you, Emma? You're on mute, Emma. Sorry.
Sorry. And I was trying not to interrupt you, Robin, so I went on mute. So yeah, thank you, Robin. We've talked a lot about professional standards. And the IWFM professional standards, as Robin has said, underpin the profession and the workplace and facilities management roles in every organisation. So just to give a bit of background around the professional standards and why they're so important. So they were established in 2014 and they define the competencies that are necessary across key areas of workplace and facilities management practitioner. So you'll see there we've got the role of workplace in there. There's a strategic development, leadership and management, but also falls into some of the key technical knowledge and skills required from a procurement and contract management, sustainability, and property portfolio management. So there's a range of knowledge and skills that are covered within our professional standards. And they're created in consultation with industry stakeholders. So it's subject matter experts and professional standards writers that work collaboratively to create our professional standards. And when we talk of subject matter experts, I'm directly referring to workplace and facilities management experts. And they work with our professional standards writers to create the standards that can then be used to benchmark skills and knowledge and competence for everybody working across all levels of the workplace and facilities management profession. And we talked a little bit around training needs analysis. So with every organisation that we work with, we do either an in-depth or a high-level training needs analysis, depending on what the organisation requires and what's requested from the organisation. And our training needs analysis tools and processes are all underpinned by our professional standards framework. So everything that we're doing, we're assessing against the professional standards framework. Our professional standards framework is updated on a regular basis, and we are continuously updating and ensuring that it is not just meeting the standards at the moment, but ensuring to drive the profession forward. And that's why you've heard today a lot of reference to, and rightfully so, the Building Safety Act. That's a key new piece of legislation that's been developed and implemented over the last couple of years that is directly affecting the profession. You've heard us talk about technology, the Internet of Things, smarter buildings, sustainability, because again, these are key themes that are directly affecting the profession as we move forward. And that's why we're ensuring that they're embedded, and we always ensure that they are embedded within our professional standards framework. So the professional standards framework form the basis of the professional development pathway, and anything that we develop for organisations, professional standards are at the heart of that. And not only professional standards, but also the membership grades. So the membership recognition is also at the heart of everything that we do. So anything that we develop for you will also be developed in collaboration with our membership opportunities and membership recognition. So we always advise on membership recognition as well as learning and development opportunities. Of course, not all organisations have to take that, but it's from a best practice point of view, we always encourage that we are setting that standard and then providing that advice and guidance. So really just looking at now why you should partner with us. So our mission as an organisation is to empower organisations to help develop workplace and facilities management professionals and help them grow and succeed into impactful careers. Our role is to act as a business enabler. So this is specifically around kind of the role of the academy. So we're here really to act as a business enabler to optimise the profession's impact and help not just individuals within organisations, but the organisations recognise the role of workplace and facilities management and the impact that workplace and facilities management has on their organisation. We are supported by 12,000 experts, so we provide industry insight, knowledge and bespoke training programmes. So it's around bringing together not just the professional standards and membership standards, but also the policy, research and insight that our policy team develop and are continuously working on to help us understand and ensure that we are at the forefront and leading body, training body within the profession. And our approach is not a one size fits all, it's tailored. So it's looking at the solution, a tailored solution, but also a tailored method. So we can work with you across a number of different ways. As we talked about earlier, we can partner with you across a number of different key objectives that you're working on as an organisation, or we can approve a training program that you've already got in place to align it to the IWFM training standards and better support your employees in getting that recognition from a CPD perspective. We can also support by educating and assisting businesses in achieving their WFM strategies and future goals. So that feeds into really how we can help you communicate the value of workplace and facilities management across your organisation to help identify the impact that can be made, not just from a value perspective, but it may feed into cost, brand, and reputation. And from an experience point of view, obviously IWFM has been in existence since 1993, so we are advancing the profession and have been supporting the profession since 1993. So we're going to open up to questions, and I'm just going to go to the full screen to go to the questions section. Are there any questions in the chat at the moment? Feel free, if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat. We'll wait and give people time to do that. So the first one is, how long does the process take? So I suppose that is a question that it can be answered with a number of different answers, I suppose. So it's however long you want it to take. So if an organisation is coming to us with, I know that I've got a gap across technology and of knowledge within my team, then we can very quickly help you and provide you with an in-house course that will help you meet that skills gap and build that competence and knowledge across your team, because we've got an in-house training program that's already ready built, and we can share that with you and get you booked in on that as a cohort. That lead time is usually a minimum of 6 weeks, and we can deliver that across whatever time frame you would want us to deliver it. So if you say I don't want it for another 6 months, I can get that booked in and get that done for you. If an organisation comes to us and is wanting to work with us from as Robin put it, a blank canvas point of view, and we can basically work with you to develop a training needs analysis. We'll work with you, work through that training needs analysis, and then review those findings with you, and conduct a gap analysis workshop so you can see what the gaps are within your organisation. Again, that's probably a 8 to 10 week lead time as we work with the senior leadership team, but then work with different departments across your organisation to identify, and different levels across your organisation to identify what the organisation wants to achieve, but then also what the current competencies are across like operational, managerial and senior leadership teams within workplace and facilities management. And that is a series of workshops that we do. With it from an admin point of view and delivery of that, that's probably a 8 to 10 week time frame that we work to. And then the options are from there. We can either deliver in-house off-the-shelf solutions, which then goes back to that kind of 6 week lead time, or we can develop a bespoke solution for you. And that's a longer lead time, and that depends on what comes out of the analysis and what proposal we put forward for you. There's also a third option where we can contextualise our current programmes and still align them to your organisation and your organisation's values, needs, and the opportunities that have been identified in the training needs analysis. And again, that would probably look at about a three month timeline. So I suppose the short answer, that was a long answer. The short answer to that is there's lots of different options that we can work through with you, and we can be very flexible based on the requirements of the organisation and the urgency that you need it. So another question's come through. So what if we already have our own training already in place but still need support? So if you already have your own training in place, we can look at that training and go through the IWFM approved route. So the IWFM approved route is basically how we accredit current training programs within organisations. And that process is focused around reviewing the training content in line with the IWFM training standards, providing feedback. So you will always get constructive feedback. You may get approved first round, it may go to second round because we want to see some adaptations and some amendments to your training content. And then once you are approved, then you can use the IWFM approved logo on all of your marketing material, on your company website, to promote the training internally with your employees, or even externally if you offer it externally as well. And all delegates will receive the IWFM approved logo on the certificate that they receive as well. If you also want to look at some additional program development alongside the training that you already deliver, that can also go down our learning design route, and we can work with you to develop a bespoke program for you. We now have a learning design department in-house that works directly for the academy, and we have learning designers that are working with organisations in developing content and training courses that meet industry training standards, but also align to organisations' needs and requirements. Are there any other questions that people are thinking of? No question is a stupid question, so feel free to ask whatever you may be pondering on. I'll give it a few more moments, and then if we haven't got any other questions, I'll just move to the last slide while we're just seeing if anybody else has got anything else to add, which is our contact slide. So if you do think of a question after we finish this webinar, you can contact by phone. That will go straight through to Robin's work phone. You can email Robin on robin.clark@iwfm.org.uk, or you can also visit our website. So if you search iwfm.org.uk/organisations, you'll go straight to our organisations page, and you'll also find Robin's contact details on that page as well. Okay, if there's no other questions.
Emma, sorry, there is one question.
There is one. I've just seen it, yeah. Thank you.
No worries.
So one question, how do you measure success to demonstrate the value of the client's investment? So in everything that we do in terms of developing content and developing training programs, we are working with the client in all of that process. So we have a product development approach that we follow, and we have key areas of review on that journey as well. So we engage the client in that review. So we're always asking the client to review the content and sign off before we move to the next stage. And that goes from concept development and design stage, and then to final launch stage. The second half of that question, I would assume, is around how do we demonstrate the value and measure success of the actual programs. So all of the programs that we deliver, we embed feedback into all of it. We're continually getting feedback from the delegates that have attended the course, but also the other side of that is that Robin remains as your key account manager. So whoever has kind of the team that have originally worked with Robin to put and work with the academy team to put the program together and to deliver the program have Robin as their key account manager throughout the whole entirety of the relationship. So that means that you have regular catch-ups with Robin, regular meetings, but also regular opportunities we can do focus groups if needed. We can put additional kind of temperature tests together, I suppose, that we've done with organisations in the past, where we will create portfolio of evidence like framework, so that actually people can have the opportunity to show how they've practically applied the knowledge and skills within the workplace. We've recently just gone through a programme at the moment where we've come to the end of the programme, and now actually what we're doing is doing another training needs analysis, to one that'll help us identify the new gaps, because they're never going to fully be filled, because things are evolving and changing all the time. And so it allows us to identify what the future challenges are, but also to refer back to and compare to the first training needs analysis. So it enables us to identify that progress and identify the progress that's been made across not just the individuals, but also work with the organisation to identify what KPIs are being progressed against, and what objectives are being met within the organisation as well. Any other questions from anybody? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll thank everybody for their time today. As I said, if there are any other questions that anybody thinks of, then please contact Robin. And also, if there's more information that you require on something, again, please contact Robin and reach out to Robin, and he can set up calls with you, reply via email, and give you all the information that you need. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.